There's something else you should remember. When you mock someone's sin, you're mocking something that you yourself are not safe from. None of us know how we will end this life. You may be praying 5 times a day today, fasting regularly, giving charity. But if pride enters your heart and you start to think you're better than others, then you're in greater danger than the person who's struggling but humble. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that there are people who will do the deeds of the people of paradise their whole life, but then at the end of their life, they fall into something and die in a state that leads them to hell. And there are people who may live far from Islam, but before they die, they sincerely repent and Allah enters them into Jannah. So how can we feel proud? How can we laugh at someone's current condition when we don't even know our own future? Your today does not guarantee your tomorrow. And their sin today does not mean they won't be forgiven tonight. That's why our scholars used to say, never look at a sinner with eyes of pride. Look with eyes of fear and dua. Because when you see someone in sin, instead of saying, ew, look at them, they're so wrong, say this in your heart, Ya Allah, protect me, help them, forgive both of us. That's the heart of a believer. That's the heart Allah loves. And think about this. If you had a child who made mistakes, would you want the whole world laughing at them? Would you want them to be publicly embarrassed and pushed away? Of course not. You'd want someone to help them, to speak kindly, to pull them back gently. Well, every single believer is a creation of Allah. He made them. He hears their cries. He sees their struggle. And He loves when His servants return to Him. So how dare we mock someone Allah is guiding? How dare we laugh at someone who might be crying for forgiveness right now? How dare we put ourselves above anyone when we have sins that are just hidden? And remember, not all mockery is loud. Sometimes it's a quiet smirk, a rolling of the eyes, a sarcastic comment, a harsh caption under a screenshot. That's still mockery. And that arrogance can slowly ruin your heart without you even realizing it. You may not see the damage you're doing to the other person, but you are doing damage to yourself. You're darkening your heart. You're distancing yourself from Allah. You're making your good deeds lighter on the day of judgment. Because the same tongue you used to laugh at someone may testify against you in front of Allah. So next time you feel like making fun of someone's sin, remember your own sins. And be grateful that Allah didn't expose you. Because if He did, would you still hold your head high? Always choose mercy. Always choose silence. And always choose humility over pride. Because Allah can raise a broken sinner to the highest levels of paradise and drop an arrogant worshipper from the highest to the lowest just because of what was in their heart. May Allah make us from those who see others with eyes of mercy, who treat others the way we hope to be treated, and who protect our tongues from destroying what our hands have built. One of the most dangerous stories in our religion is the story of Iblis. He didn't drink alcohol. He didn't commit zina. He wasn't out in the streets doing wrong. In fact, he spent thousands of years worshipping Allah. He was known among the angels for his devotion. He was a teacher, a scholar, a worshipper. But what destroyed him? Not a lack of knowledge, not a lack of worship, but something hidden in the heart, pride. When Allah created Adam alayhi salam and told Iblis to bow, what did he say? I am better than him. You made me from fire and you made him from clay. On the surface, he was technically right. Fire is stronger than clay. It rises. It's more powerful, more intense. But being right with your words doesn't mean your heart is right with Allah. And that's what ruined Iblis. He thought his knowledge, his worship, his long history with Allah made him superior. But in the moment of truth, his pride made him disobey. His arrogance blinded him. And that one act of arrogance caused him to be cursed forever. Now pause and ask yourself, how often do we fall into that same trap? You may know more than someone else. You might have studied longer, prayed more, fasted more, followed the rules better. But the moment you start looking down on someone, the moment you think, I'm better than them, you're standing on dangerous ground, because Allah doesn't reward you just for being right. He rewards you for being humble. You could win an argument with perfect logic. You could correct someone with full evidence. You could speak the truth in front of everyone. But if your goal is to defeat someone, If your goal is to look smart, if your heart enjoys the feeling of I'm better than them, then you've already lost. Because Islam is not about winning debates, it's about winning hearts.